Hey guys, it's SterlingW and we're going to review this Type S 4K dash cam. Now this is a 4K dash cam with Wi-Fi and GPS, so it actually has GPS tracking and stuff, and you can actually link it to your cell phone or smartphone, so you actually could do geo-tagging and stuff like that, which is really awesome. We'll have some live footage of it a little later in the video. If you want to skip ahead, that's absolutely fine. But it has pretty good night and day footage, which is really cool. And that's why we got it. We got it for the 4K, but you could run it at 2K or at 1080p. Unboxing it, this is actually a very, very simple dash cam because it just mounts to your windshield, which is perfect for someone who doesn't want to glue something onto the windshield or onto a dash, nothing permanent or anything. And also, if you want this to be visible to people, to say, hey, I actually am using a dash camera and recording video in my car while driving. So very, very cool. Peeling off all the protective tape is pretty cool, especially like the lens and stuff. It's actually roughly around almost 2.5 or 2 inches by about roughly a 2-inch square almost, and it's pretty cool. It does come with a 16 gigabyte disc, which is nice, so that you don't have to buy any other disc, and it records for a good amount. There's also a port on the top of it that you could add a secondary camera and have it record at the same time, which is pretty awesome. Now here's the suction cup. This is a very strong suction cup, and it's actually very small too. It hasn't failed us throughout the couple of weeks we've been testing it, and it's actually very snug as well. So it just slides in there right for the camera. And here's the warning stuff. And here is the 9-foot cable. It's like a little over 9 feet. Plenty of cable to have it go to your 12-volt plug for your car. And of course, it uses USB, mini USB. So it's not, well, actually, it's I think that's its first generation USB mini size. Anyways, there is a Wi-Fi and there's the password, and the recommended locations around your rear view mirror. And of course, you run the cable along the sides back to the bottom part where your 12-volt power is. Here's the specs if you want to pause the video real fast. It is a 5 megapixel sensor, and that's overall the dimensions if you want to take a look at that. And overall, it's not bad. It's easy to control, big buttons, and it's a pretty nice size screen, so you can actually view what your menu systems are. Of course, you can also use your smartphone and pair it with it, and basically have it configure the menus and stuff and have it stored. Like I said, there is a rear view camera that's a 3.5 jack, so that's probably some other accessory somewhere else. Now it can handle up to 128 gigabytes, which is nice. But of course, whether you're recording at 4K or 10K or at 1080p or 2K, it really depends on how much length you actually get. And it basically segments it like in 2 minutes and 3 minute segments for it when you're doing loop recording, which is nice. I usually have it loop recording, so it's actually pretty useful. So when you press the button, it's keeps on recording. It keeps a separate file for each of these things, for photos and recordings and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Jackery power supply and turn on the 12 volt. I just want to see how much this thing uses. It actually uses about 4 watts of energy. So if you're interested in plugging this to a direct line to your car battery or some other power source, you can even take USB power at 5 volts, and it basically could power this. So like my other dash cam, what I did is I used a secondary power supply. It doesn't connect to the car directly, and it charges with a power bank, so similar to this, except it doesn't do 12 volts. Now hitting that record button, it actually shows a yellow line that crosses that shows that it's actually recording a segment if you hit the hazard button. So that's pretty cool. There's nothing you can do to cancel it. It just keeps on going and recording for that whole, I think, minute or so, just to let you know that it is recording. And by unplugging this thing and just testing the unplugging thing, it does slowly discharge and turn off. So it must have a capacitor or something in there as the power source, not a battery, because it won't, hold the charge. So if I unplugged it, it takes a few seconds and it powers off. It does like a pretty a soft power off. Powering back on, it takes only about a few seconds of power, and then it starts checking the memory card, prepping the memory card, and it starts recording as is. So that's what I really love about this thing. It's very simple and straightforward. And once it has power, it starts recording. Of course, set the time and stuff right. The suction cup is really cool because it actually pressurizes against the windshield, and it's extremely really tight, which is good. It doesn't fall off, and it hasn't fallen off in the past 2 to 3 weeks we've used it. Here's some footage if you want to take a look like how it picks up license plates and stuff. And we're just going through at nighttime and daytime, and it's actually quite clear, which is really nice. Now, of course, this is like past dusk, not completely night, but if you could see the light off and off the other cars, that's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, this is SterlingW. I hope this review was helpful to you, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.